Welcome, everybody. We'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We have a packed house, which is always exciting. A lot to honor and recognize. I'm going to go ahead and first call this meeting to order, June 11th, 2024, the school board regular meeting. I'd like to take a roll call. Ms.
Yes.
Cadell?
Dr. Anderson.
Here.
Dr. Gould.
Here?
Ms. Murphy. Here. Dr. Ortiz.
Here.
Ms. Silverman.
Here.
And Ms. Tice.
Here.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we're on to 1.04, adoption of the agenda. Can I please have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Murphy.
I move that the board adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Do I have a second? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right, adoption agenda. All right, now we're going to move on to section 2, which is always our fun favorite section, the recognitions and reports. Dr. Neal, we're going to start off with 2.01 BIE Community Partnership Awards.
All right. Thank you, Chair Gould, and good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's a huge night of celebration here in the City of Falls Church, as you mentioned earlier, and we have several folks that we'd like to recognize this evening. And first, we'd like to begin with our Business and Education and our Community Partnership Awards. And this evening, leading us off is Regan Davis. Regan is our Director of Business and She does everything for us. I'll get her title wrong, but so we'll just go with Regan Davis, Master of Everything. So that has to do with community outreach. So Ms. Davis, thank you for being here and take us away.
Okay, thank you. I'm just a coordinator, but I'll take it. So yes, on behalf of the Business and Education Partnership, I'd like to recognize the following community partners for their support of Falls Church City Public Schools. Their contributions include sharing educational expertise, making financial or in-kind donations, hosting fundraisers, and preparing students for careers post-high school. We'll begin with 3 local businesses who will be added to the Virginia School Board Association Business Honor Roll. So the Falls Church Foot and Ankle Center is a well-regarded medical practice located here in City of Falls Church. Dr. Paul Cannon has supported FCCPS by speaking at numerous career events, hosting students for job shadowing and externships in his office, and sponsoring numerous Falls Church Education Foundation events. Dr. Cannon is always one of the first physicians to respond when asked to share his time and expertise. Giant Food, which you all probably know, donated this year over $17,000 to support the Family Assistance Fund through their Nourishing Our Youth Roundup at the Checkout program. They have been longtime supporters of the Life Skills ABLE program at Meridian High School and employ students with disabilities at their location here in Falls Church. Preservation Biscuit Company is an independent restaurant located within walking distance here of City Hall. Owner Tricia Barba has provided breakfast for students at Oak Street. Oh, sorry, multitasking, that's not one of my skills. Owner Tricia Barba has provided breakfast for students at Oak Street Elementary, sponsorship of numerous Falls Church Education Foundation events, and this past year she provided her social media expertise in promoting FCEF's 20th anniversary. Our own superintendent of schools, Peter Noonan, submitted a winning entry in their National Biscuit Month contest, and proceeds from his Route 66 pileup were donated back to the FCCPS. It was very delicious. The next 3 organizations are being recognized as honored partners by the Business and Education Partnership Advisory Committee. Creative Cauldron, who is here with us tonight, is a nonprofit theater located, nonprofit theater company located here in the City of Falls Church. Through the years, Creative Cauldron has provided free and discount tickets for FCCPS staff, along with numerous volunteer opportunities for our students. This summer, FCCPS students who qualify will also receive full scholarships to participate in their Artes Para Todo initiative, which breaks down cultural and language barriers to include students who have traditionally been neglected by educational theater programs. Halm Jenkins, who is also, Emily Halm is here with us tonight, is a boutique law firm located in the City of Falls Church that serves as counsel for business and nonprofit organizations. Founding partner Emily Jenkins has been a gracious supporter of Give Day and provided financial sponsorship and been an attendee and participant at numerous Falls Church education events. Emily and her husband are Falls Church City residents, and their 4 children attend our schools. Let's see. Okay, the following honored partner is the United States Navy Band. They unfortunately are not here tonight. They're probably playing somewhere. But they are the premier musical organization of the U.S. Navy, and they comprise 6 primary performing groups as well as a host of smaller ensembles. The Music in Our Schools program helps foster an appreciation for music for younger students. The ensemble has performed numerous times at Mount Daniel Elementary, and most recently for students at the secondary campus. This past week, about 30 Mount Daniel students also attended a concert down at the U.S. Navy Memorial in D.C., and it was a great event, and there were lots of dancing and lots of participating, so that's been a wonderful partnership. So the final award for tonight is for the Rookie of the Year. And this is given to a new business and education partner who has jumped in to support FCCPS. So Happy Endings Hospitality opened 3 restaurants in Founders Row in the spring of 2023. Chase and Tails, Role Play, and New Elegantly Vietnamese. Co-owner and CEO Toonie Lee has been an enthusiastic supporter of FCCPS since moving into their new space. They hosted the New Teacher Luncheon last August. She presented at the Women's History Month panel this past spring for secondary school students, and they also employ numerous students from Meridian High School. And they surprised a number of those students at their graduation and brought them flowers and were there for the ceremony. So they have really been a great support for the schools, and we look forward to continuing this relationship and supporting one another in the future. So I'd like to thank and congratulate all of our amazing community partners. And if we could get a photo up front for the 2 partners that were able to be here tonight, that would be great. So we'll go over here.
All right, thank you to all the recipients and all the partnerships. I think from a community business, I think what we really value in Falls Church City is the quality of these partnerships. And it's really exciting to see not just money or time, but also the externships like Dr. Cannon, or seeing some of the businesses and their partnerships like Creative Cauldron and the tight integration. I know some of our board members' kids have great experiences with Creative Cauldron, and also to see, obviously, Ms. Jenkins, who sponsors Run for the Schools. I think she also wins Run for the Schools each year, too, but no, we really appreciate everybody with how we integrate the communities with our schools. And Ms. Davis, obviously, your leadership, your outreach, your relationship, Regan, we really appreciate everything that you do for leading that relationship with the school district. So thank you, everybody, for the partnerships. We're looking forward to more. So. All right. Dr. Noonan, I think we are ready for student recognitions 2.02.
Yeah, we've got some students here tonight. We're very pleased to see all of you this evening. Thank you so much for coming back, even though you're on summer break. We know that last Friday was your last day. But tonight we have the opportunity to recognize a number of folks. Starting with our Odyssey of the Mind teams. We have some Odyssey of the Mind students that are here, along with their parents and our great coach, Lisa Muller. So Ms. Muller, do you want to come up and introduce your team and tell us who's here? Maybe they could join you at the podium.
Learning, thank you. I'm going to invite all of my students up who are here, any coaches as well, they guys come on up. So we have with us tonight members from, well, at one point when we were initially invited, there are like 160 students who compete in Odyssey of the Mind, and that seemed like a lot. So I think this is a little bit better. We have 4 teams that moved on to the state level this past year, and then those are the ones we've invited this evening. And then we also have members of our team that also went on to the world competition in Iowa. And so this is something where the students basically are put on teams of 4 to 7. And your coaches are our parents. And so this is one of those things where, like, even though I coordinate, it really is something that does not exist without the parent support. So I'd like to thank all the parents who've coached for years. And this is something that takes place outside of school, and they spend a really long time from November to March kind of getting ready for these competitions, and they rock it out. So that's who we've got with us today.
Perhaps they could introduce themselves. Or maybe we could just do a picture.
That sounds good, too.
All right, let's do a picture. Come on up, you guys.
And coaches too. Take coaches together. We can get closer. Nothing's in the way.
All right, and our next group that sorry.
Sorry, we had one more thing. We have a new addition to our visitors this evening, and we have little pins that say FCCPS Changing Lives since 1949 to thank you all for coming as a little memento for coming to speak and share your experiences with the school board. So I will pass these to Ms. Muller, and she can pass them to whichever students would like to take one home, or parents or coaches too. We have plenty. I just wanted to also just say thank you on behalf of the school board. I was a host one year for Odyssey of the Mind. I was not a coach, but I just hosted it in my house, and just witnessing what the coaches do and hearing from a floor away all the hard work and the controlled chaos and fun that the students have. It's really a wonderful program, and I want to thank the students and the parent coaches.
Great. Thank you all for being here, and enjoy your pin. Wear it proudly. We've got ours around our necks. It's right here. The next team we'd like to recognize is the boys tennis team. Coach Mash is here this evening, and there are several members of the team that are here. Coach Mash, if you would like to come up and talk about your team a little bit. I can say that they had an amazing season. They achieved the state quarterfinals as a number 3 seed in the region, and they had an overall record of 12-6, and were extremely successful and really proud. So Coach Mash, if you want to come up and introduce your guys, and we'll get a picture with you as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Coach Marsh. I'm the head tennis coach at Meridian High School. Today, we are going to let you know that both our boys and girls team, they played fantastic tennis, and we won the regional tennis tournament, and also we won this. We lost in the state finals. One of our top senior player, Ryan Caro, is going to attend Elon University. He helped our team to play wonderful tennis. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gonna ask our high school guys that are here tonight to model introductions of yourselves so that we can know who you are, and then as you do that, come on up and we'll get a picture.
Hello, I'm Luke Slothauer. I'm the 5th seed from Meridian High School. I'm very proud of what we have achieved this year, and next year, even more.
Oh yeah, Luke.
My name is Joe Crittenbrink. I'm the 9th seed on the tennis team. I'm thankful for what we've done this season and also for Coach Mash. He was a great coach, and he led our team very far, so thank you.
I'm Charlie Taylor. I played number 2 this year, and I think it was a really great season, and I had a lot of fun with the whole team.
I was the 4th seed on the team. I'm really grateful to Coach Matt and also Thomas for his leadership on the team.
I'm Thomas. I'm a freshman. I was the 1, and I'm really excited for another 3 years of this.
Hey, I'm Likat Guntu, and I'm the 7th seed on the team, and I'm grateful for Coach Mash for what he did for the team, and we had a lot of fun this season.
I'm Max von Schultz. I was the 6th seed on the tennis team, and I'm excited to come back stronger next year.
I'm Stephen Colby. I was the 10, and thank you to Coach Mash. He was great.
I'm Ryan Carroll. I was number 3. I'm a senior, and thanks to Coach Mash, and I'm excited to see how they can do next year without me.
I'm Sam Parenti. I'm number 11, and I'd like to thank Coach Mash and the rest of the team for being real ones this year.
If you guys stick around, I think Ms. Tice has a button for you.
She's determined.
All right. The next team we'd like to recognize this evening is boys track and field, and we'd like to welcome Jeff Buck and Coach Joseph Saee. If you're here, come on up, and we'd love for your team to join you, those that are with you this evening, to tell us a little bit about your team.
Joseph's the coach now. No, thank you so much for recognizing us tonight. Just a little bit about Joseph. He started out actually as a sprinter on the team, and his specialty became the 800 meters, which is more like mid-distance. If you don't know, 800 meters is 2 laps around the track. It's actually all events in track and field are very difficult, but 800 meter in particular, because it's a sprint within many other little sprints that you have to do throughout the race. And Joseph really became a master of it by his senior year. This year, to some of his accomplishments, he was all district in the 800. He missed the school record at that point by 0.01 second. So we knew he was hungry and even more motivated to get it after that. He was region champ. He finished as 2-time region champ in the 800. He was also part of the all-region 4x4 relay team. And then at states, he accomplished all his goals in his race. He became a state runner-up in the 800 meters. First, at least from my research and other community members' research, first Mustang to be able to do that in 70 years. So really impressive. And then he broke our 6-year-old school record by over 2 seconds and is now on 3 school records for outdoor track and field. So really great accomplishments, Joseph.
Joseph, would you like to share some wisdom of speed with us?
I don't know if I have any wisdom of speed, but I'd just like to thank my family and my coaches because they've really been my greatest supporters over the past 4 years. So, yeah, I'd just like to thank them.
Congratulations to you. You want to come up for a picture? Come on. All right. The next group we'd like to recognize is girls lacrosse. Is there anyone here from girls lacrosse this evening? We have some really nice things to say about them. So if you see them out in the community, let me just say that this girls lacrosse team is a special group that is going to be special, I think, for years to come. There are some young players on that team that are really extraordinary, but this year they made it to the state semifinals and had a 16-3 overall record. And their only loss came at Western Albemarle this season, at the end of the season. And they did a phenomenal job. So congratulations to the girls lacrosse team. Is there anyone here from the boys lacrosse team? Coach, you want to come up? All right. Come on up. Maybe you can introduce yourself, and as you do, I'll tell just a little bit about some of the accolades of the season. State quarterfinals, 14-4 overall record, and advanced to the state tournament for the 3rd year in a row. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. So I'm Coach Quo. I am one of the varsity coaches for boys. Yeah, we had a great season. I think we had 9 seniors that all contributed. The season started back in October with our conditioning workouts, and looking forward to the coming seasons. We've got a strong rising junior class, maybe one of the strongest that the school's ever had. So I'm looking forward to great things.
Well, thanks, Coach Guo. Will you come up for a picture and a button? All right, awesome. We do have, is anyone here from softball this evening? Okay, well, we have a really special accolade that we'd like to talk about this evening, and that is for Elena Clark Wilson. For those of you that know Elena, you know she's a pretty extraordinary softball player, and she was selected to play for the Great Britain team at the U18 Softball World Cup that's going to be held in Sao Paulo, Brazil in July. So congratulations to Elena in absentia for her extraordinary work. All right. I do want to, I mentioned the girls lacrosse team, so let me just give you a little bit of information about them. We did get something from their coach, and I want to honor that, and that is that they had an excellent season and bested teams that they'd lost to in previous seasons, such as Dominion, Riverside, and Langley, as well as the well-regarded Oakton High School. The girls played with spirit and worked to develop their skills and synergy each week. They are encouraging to each other and really grew together as a team this year. They showed well in the girls 4B all-region team with the following players being named. And these are the player of the year was Allie Campbell. First team was Caroline Carmody, Leela Deering, Allie Campbell, Tilly Gale, Zoe Gale, Cassie Dubois, and Delia Paradiso. And second team was Hannah Rosenbush and Marin Baruti. So they had a really great, a great season. As I mentioned, they went 16-3, went to the state semifinals, and we're really proud of each of them. So we'll give them one more round of applause for also their regional accolades. And the last, unless I'm missing someone, and if I am, just give me a little high five, high sign. The last group that we'd like to recognize, it isn't so much a group, and this sort of came up on us last night because last night was the annual Cappy Awards for theater at the Kennedy Center. Several members in the audience were there, and one of our members of the board was there as well. And we had, if you didn't have a chance to see the show Frankenstein in our theater this year, you missed an extraordinary experience. It was one of the, I said it in a couple of tweets, but it was absolutely the best high school theater I've ever seen in my life. I've been going to shows for 32 years as a superintendent, high school principal, and the like, and I've never seen a production like it. And we ended up having a number of Cappy nominees, but last night, two people were awarded with the most prestigious award for high school theater of the Cappy. And the first was for creativity in Frankenstein, and that was Carlos Ortiz for his musical score and his composition. So he's not here this evening, but his dad is here. And so perhaps Dr. Ortiz, if you'd like to say something about it, we'd be happy to honor that. And then we also have a button for you.
Oh. I have a button. I think the joke is that actually Kathleen has to eat all the ones that are left over. So, I mean, I just described, Sean Northrup, the theater teacher, does an amazing job pulling together these productions. And this is Frankenstein was a production that he had commissioned and actually ran through like a reading of the play right before COVID. And so he worked on the actual play itself. And it was really special to him. And then he didn't have an opportunity to perform it, obviously, in 2020, and then had some other plans, and then was able to pull it out this year. And just by serendipity, my son, thank goodness, was given the opportunity to write music for last year's play, which was The Love Doctor, and he wrote a score for a woodwind and harpsichord group. And Mr. Northrup invited him to write a score for Frankenstein, and Carlos started that production probably in the late summer with concept things and ideas that he wanted to perform, and he worked all the way up until like opening night, like making sure that the lengths were right and that like the sound levels were correct and that the cues all were perfect. And so I mean he's especially grateful just for the opportunity to do it. I think what he said in his acceptance speech is that he was appreciative for the fact that his friend Casey Dimmick was right there on stage with him in the orchestra. So I think that kind of humility shows a lot for what Mr. Northrup puts into the a program. You know, it's about a collective effort and putting it all together. So it's one award, but there's a whole effort, whole group of people that put it together. So we appreciate, thank you, Dr. Noonan, for the recognition. And if Carl's here, he'd stand up and be embarrassed.
Thank you, Dr. Ortiz. And just to be a little bit additive to what Dr. Ortiz said about the show Frankenstein, it was about 6 years ago, that Mr. Northrup came to me and asked if it would be okay if he commissioned a show instead of bought one off the shelf, which is what a lot of schools do. It was an extraordinarily creative endeavor on his part to think about doing that. But a major portion of his rationale was that so many of our plays that are out there that are purchased off the shelf really diminish females in the roles. And he wanted to find something that would enhance females on stage, and he did. Because last night, the lead actor in a female role in a play went to Abby Berg, one of our students here in the City of Falls Church, for her lead acting in Frankenstein. So congratulations to Abby as well, and for being elevated as an extraordinary artist and actress. So congratulations, Abby.
I just wanted to add to that. I had the thrill of a lifetime that I was able to actually present her award on stage at the Kennedy Center last night, which was so exciting. I don't know how these students spend hours on stage, because I was there for about literally 8 seconds and I was sweating bullets. But it was such a thrill, and to see her be acknowledged for such a tremendous accomplishment. The show was just absolutely phenomenal. But I also had the joy of driving a whole van full of kids who were part of the production, and but did not have, you know, big parts and lots of lines. They were certainly they were so proud of the work, their collective work. They were so, like, just palpably excited for their peers to be acknowledged, and it really spoke to just the collaborative nature of it all, and like what a family that Mr. Northrup and that department is able to build. It was really beautiful to just watch them all be so excited and supportive of each other, and so proud to just have played any role at all, or put in any part into the production.
All right, and Chair Gould, that is it for our recognitions, and I'm looking for high signs. I don't see any. I don't think we missed anybody. We do have one more recognition and a resolution tonight. If you all would like to stay, you're more than welcome to stay for that. But
we appreciate everybody. I think you can see why this is an exciting part of the meeting, to have not only elementary students, but some of our seniors, our academics, theater, athletics, our community partnerships. So this is really fun to see the symbolism of Falls Church City all coming together. So we really appreciate everybody coming out, and congratulations on all your accomplishments. Thank you. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and now move on to school board recognition 2.03. So as we learned at a month ago, David Ortiz, our fellow school board member, announced that he is going to be resigning from the school board effective June 15th, so 4 days. He looks quite sad and over there, but he's going to be moving with his family, so we're really excited for all the opportunities and the next challenge that he will face with his family. So we're really excited for him, but we are definitely going to miss him on the school board. So with that, we do have a recognition that we'd like to provide, and obviously we'd like to say a few words for you. But this is a resolution 14-24 of all of David Ortiz's accomplishments while he's been served as school board. So Resolution 14-24, whereas Dr. David Ortiz was elected in November 2021, and from January 2022 through June 2024, he served the Falls Church City Public Schools with distinction as a Falls Church City Public School Board member. And whereas Dr. Ortiz served as a school board liaison to the elementary PTA, the English Speakers and Other Languages, ESOL Advisory Committee, Meridian's Mustang Athletic Boosters, the Falls Church City Band Boosters, and the Falls Church City Choral Boosters, providing excellent guidance and outstanding leadership. And whereas Dr. Ortiz advocated for and assisted in passing Resolution 0122, the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality, the DEQ, Clean School Bus Program. And whereas Dr. Ortiz and all members of the Falls Church City School Board held a special meeting on May 31st, 2022, to adopt a statement of gun violence, committing to work with legislators to provide safety for the children and families they serve. And whereas Dr. Ortiz and all members of the Falls Church City School Board adopted a statement against hate on December 13th, 2022, to foster a welcoming and inclusive community that celebrates and embraces each individual's authenticity and is free of anti-Semitism, racism, and discrimination of any kind. And whereas Dr. Ortiz supported the revision of the student attendance policy to include an approved absence of one school day per year for student engagement, civic engagement for the middle and high school students. And whereas Dr. Ortiz advocated for and supported the resolution of 07-22 girls wrestling that aided in the sanctioning of girls wrestling in Virginia as an emerging sport. And whereas Dr. Ortiz worked collaboratively with the general government in the development of fiscally responsible budgets for Falls Church City schools. And whereas Dr. Ortiz supported and adopted the Falls Church City Public Schools 2022-2027 strategic plan that fosters IB-infused teaching and learning, wellness, equity, and belonging, investing in our people, communication and engagement, and resource management and continuous improvement. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Falls Church City School Board extend its highest commendation and deepest appreciation to Dr. David Ortiz for his leadership and his commitment to students, staff, families, and the community of Falls Church City, dated this 11th day of June 2024. And Dr. Ortiz, we do have two versions of this resolution. One of the resolutions does have a crossed out that you attended the VSBA conferences and you were ongoing professional development. So we did cross that out to make sure it matched reality, since you did not attend any of the conferences. So, but we do have two versions. You can choose which one you want in the thing. So we also have a couple other things for you. We also, we have a Legacy Grove brick pathway. So a brick has been purchased for you in the Legacy Grove Brick Plaza at Meridian High School, and the following text will be engraved. David Ortiz, Falls Church School Board, January 2022 through June 2024. So that will be placed in remembrance of your service to the Falls Church City Schools, and also your partnership to all the things you've contributed that we just read in the resolution. So I think on behalf, I'm sure a couple other words might be said, but on behalf of all of us, we've appreciated serving with you. We are going to miss you, having you up here, and I've personally felt, always enjoyed talking with you and getting teased by you about how many times your kids are in the morning announcements versus mine. But we are looking forward to your next chapter, and so really good luck to you, Dave. So, yeah. Yep.
Yes, I wanted to just be the first to publicly just say thank you, David, for your service, and share how sorry I am to see you go. You've added such value to the board with your laser focus on transparency and responsible processes, your strong service and connection to the ESOL committee. And on a personal note, I just wanted to thank you for your friendship the past 3 years. We did not know each other before we both decided to throw our hat in the ring and run in what was a fairly intense and contentious campaign season. And then just weeks before Election Day, David was so deeply kind, as I had experienced a pretty personal loss, and he showed such compassion and generosity that I will never forget in a moment that was really difficult and when we did not know each other very well, and I will always be forever grateful for that. So it showed so much character and so much heart. So I will be very sorry to see you go. I hope you will stay in touch and let us know about all of the continued successes of your amazingly talented kids, and we wish you luck.
Chair Gould, can I also chime in? Just to say, Dr. Ortiz, we certainly are going to miss you here as well. One of the things that I think we all appreciated about your leadership was, believe it or not, the questions you asked. You always asked really thoughtful questions that really forced us to think about why we were doing things. and gave us an opportunity to do that reflection and really have an understanding moving forward of clarity around why the work we were doing was the way it was. We also have as much admiration for your children as we do for you, and we're going to miss having both Carlos and Carmen in the system, and I hope that they both have great successes in their next chapters as well. So thank you to you and to your family and to your wife as well. And thank you for your service, and look forward to seeing you post-board membership in other contexts.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ortiz. All right. Now we'll move on to Section 2.04, Resolution 15-24, Pride Month. Ms. Silverman, would you mind introducing the resolution?
Sure. Whereas the month of June is recognized as Pride Month, and whereas Falls Church City Public Schools are committed to recognizing and celebrating the diverse cultures represented in our community, staff, and students, and whereas Pride Month is celebrated in June to honor the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in Manhattan, a tipping point for the gay liberation movement in the United States, and whereas on June 11, 1999, President Bill Clinton issued proclamation number 7203, marking the first time a U.S. president had officially recognized June as Pride Month. And whereas LGBTQ pride is the promotion of the self-affirmation, dignity, equality, and increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people as a social group, pride as opposed to shame and social stigma. And whereas the first pride flag was designed by gay artist Gilbert Baker in 1978. It originally had 8 stripes with each color symbolizing a different concept. The flag first flew on Gay Pride Day in San Francisco on June 25, 1978. And whereas the Trevor Project estimates that more than 1.8 million LGBTQ+ young people ages 13 to 24 seriously consider suicide each year in the U.S., and at least one attempts suicide every 45 seconds. And whereas LGBTQ youth who felt high social support from their family reported attempting suicide at less than half the rate of those with low or moderate social support. LGBTQ youth who found their school to be LGBTQ affirming reported lower rates of attempting suicide. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Falls Church City School Board does hereby proclaim June 2024 as Pride Month in Falls Church City Public Schools, and urges all to respect and honor our diverse community and celebrate and build a culture of inclusivity and equity.
Thank you, Ms. Silverman. Now I'd like a motion for Resolution 15-24.
Yeah, I move to
Ortiz.
adopt Resolution 15-24, Pride Month as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Do I have a second? Ms. Murphy? Thank you. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right. The Resolution 15-24 Pride Month does pass. Thank you. Now move on to Section 3, Public Comments and Requests. Let's see. In accordance with School Board Policy BDDH, the time for each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. However, those needing a reasonable accommodation or need interpretation may have extended time. Additional written statements may be submitted to the clerk for dissemination to board members and for the record be disposition of requests. Ms. Goodell, do we have any speakers?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Goodell, do we have any written?
No, received none.
0 for 2. All right, thank you, Ms. Goodell. All right, now we'll move on to Section 4, Closed Meeting. So we'll go ahead, move on to 4.01. Can I have a motion to move us to closed? Ms. Silverman.
Pursuant to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, I move that the board convene a closed meeting for the following purpose: to discuss or consider the identified subject matter, personnel under Section 2.2-3711A1, in particular, staff appointments, staff reassignments, staff resignations, staff retirements, staff performance, staff change in position, staff separation, post-family medical leave, leave of absence, and advisory committee appointments and resignations, and student matters under Section 2.2-3711A2, in particular, part-time enrollment and non-resident tuition student.
Thank you, Ms. Silverman. Do I have a second? Ms. Murphy, thank you very much. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right, Dr. Noonan, what is our guess on when the public can know we'll come back?
I'd say 5 or 10 minutes.
5 or 10 minutes? Okay, thank you. We'll move to close now. Thank you. Okay. All right, welcome back to the public. All right, we're going to reconvene to open meeting 4.03. May I please have a motion to reconvene to open meeting? Thank you, Ms. Tice. Was that a hand raise?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, you need. Or, yeah.
Go. Here we go.
Thank you.
I have to let it load. Sorry, it's still loading.
It's all right.
If anyone else wants to jump in, they're welcome. My computer's just loading.
Ms. Silverman or Mr.
Sorry.
Anderson?
I move that we reconvene to open meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, do I have a second? Ms. Tice or Ms. Murphy? Thank you. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, now I'd like to move to certify the closed meeting. Ms. Tice.
Okay, here we go. Whereas the Falls Church City School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3711B of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Falls Church City School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirement by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which the certification applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Thank you, Ms. Tice. Do I have a motion for a second? Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Ms. Cadell, can you please do roll call?
Yes, Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Gould?
Yes.
Ms. Murphy? Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Ms. Silverman?
Yes.
And Ms. Tice? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cadell. Okay, now we're going to go on to consent agenda. Do we have, let's see, we're just going to do unanimous consent for consent agenda. So all, seeing all, we're going to move on. All right, now we're going to move on to Section 7, Business Action and Information. This goes to Dr. Noonan.
Yeah, I'll just kick us off. Just to say, tonight is a night of legal action. So tonight you'll be guided through the next 6 action items by the one and only Tricia Minson, our legal counsel. And those are all the action items for this evening. So I would say after this, you can go right to her for each agenda item. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Noonan. All
Great,
right.
thank you and good evening. The first action item for tonight is the DDMS easement, which is the dedicated dynamic messaging sign that will be outside of Henderson Middle School. It was reviewed by the school board at the work session on January 23rd and has been updated by VDOT and reviewed by outside counsel. We appreciate our partners at Hoffman for working to revise the easement to minimize the overlay of the Henderson parking lot, and happy to answer any questions regarding this, the first of 2 easements this evening. All right. Hearing none, it's ready for board action.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and I would like to seek a motion for 7.01, approval of VDOT DDMS easement. Ms. Murphy.
I move that the school board authorize the school board chair to sign the deed of gift and donation between the Falls Church City School Board and the Commonwealth of Virginia Department of Transportation as presented, subject to changes approved by the superintendent that do not materially adversely affect the school board's position.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Silverman. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Minson.
The second, and we think this is the final easement for the economic development site, is the Dominion Energy easement for installation and maintenance of underground conduits. These conduits will allow for power to go to the DDMS sign that the board just agreed on the easement to, and the traffic signals along Route 7 and Haycock Road. When you look at the plat that goes along with this easement, it does look a bit patchy because it does piece together existing easements along the conduit path but underground. This easement does include a section that would go below Mustang Alley, so it's ideal if the board approves it this evening for that work to be completed over the summer before the school year starts. Happy to answer any questions regarding this easement with Dominion Energy. Seeing none, I think it's ready for board action.
All right, thank you, Ms. Minson. So 7.02, I need a motion for approval of Dominion Energy easement. Mr. Anderson.
I move that the school board authorize the school board chair to sign the right-of-way agreement between Falls Church City School Board and Virginia Electric and Power Company as presented, subject to changes approved by superintendents that do not materially adversely affect the school board's position.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Do I have a second? Ms. Murphy, thank you very much. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right.
All right, the next item for board action is the approval of a petition for a writ of election. As the school board recognized earlier this evening, Dr. Ortiz is resigning from the school board and moving out of Falls Church City. Virginia Code at sections 24.2-226 and 24.2-228 outline how vacancies on elected school boards are filled. And the purpose of this evening's motion is to accept Dr. Ortiz's resignation and to authorize me to file a petition for writ of election with the Arlington Circuit Court, asking for the special election to fill the seat to be held on the date of the next general election, November 5th, 2024. And the motion itself does have some reasons for why the request is for the election to be held on the next general election. So it would be a special election to fill Dr. Ortiz's term for the remainder of the 2024 calendar year, and then for all of 2025. I'm happy to answer any questions from the board on this motion or on this action.
Do we by chance have dates for the, for any of the, collecting signatures? Do they?
We won't receive that until the court issues the petition.
Okay.
So I anticipate that if the board approves or directs me tonight to do that, I can file it with the court tomorrow. And I have drafted a writ of election for a judge's review and signature. But I believe it'd be sometime in August that there'd be a deadline. So part of why the request is for the election to be held on the next general election is to allow enough time for potential candidates to obtain signatures to be on that ballot in November.
Okay. Ms. Tice?
Do you happen to know for sure whether signatures can start being collected?
I don't believe anything can start until after the petition is signed by the court.
Got it. So you'll just let us know when okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
And Ms. Minson, some of the questions from the community also asked about the special election versus an appointment. Do you mind covering the recommendation about the direction we chose?
Sure, hold on. We have had, I think, 3 vacancies in the time that I have represented the board over the past 7 years. And in each of those, the individual who was stepping away from the board because they were moving or unable to continue serving had their term expired at the end of the calendar year in which they were moving out of the jurisdiction or stepping down. So in those instances, the board did decide to appoint an interim appointment to fill that position as provided under the Virginia Code. The Virginia Code does require there to be a special election if the remaining term of the vacancy exceeds that 1-year period. So it's my understanding, rather than appoint someone for a truncated term to have a special election held in November, the board elected to just have a special election.
Okay.
Does that help, or any other questions
That helps.
on
That's great. No, I appreciate that. And then the other question that we've received, just to clarify, is this election, the term will be to the end of December 2025. And if they want to continue, they'd still have to run. Is that correct?
That's correct. And unlike other general elections where the election is held in November and the appointment doesn't start until January 1st, as soon as the election results are finalized in November, the individual who wins the special election can serve. So probably their first meeting would be either the December meeting or the November work session.
Okay. That's
And
great.
I did find, we have an email from David Bjerke, and he said he anticipates that the deadline for filing for candidates will be Friday, August 16th, but it does depend upon when the court does issue the petition.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Munson. Other questions? Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll go ahead and let me go ahead and seek a motion for 7.03, approval of petition for writ of election. Ms. Silverman.
I move that the Falls Church City School Board accept the resignation of David Ortiz from his position as school board member effective June 15th, 2024, and authorize the chief officer, legal services, to file a petition for writ of election with the county circuit for the County of Arlington for a special election to be held on the date of the next general election, as such date would be in the public interest for the following reasons. It provides ample time for candidates to plan and conduct a campaign for the office. It schedules the special election for a date on which other local offices are on the ballot. It provides for greater voter turnout, and it avoids the expense of a standalone election for a single office.
Thank you, Ms. Silverman. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Tice. All in favor, say yes. Yes. Any opposed? All right. Nope. June 15th. June 15th. All right. Thanks, Ms. Minson. And still back to you.
All right, we have waiver of first reading and second reading and adoptions of policies now. There are two policies for proposed waiver of first reading. The first policy is policy CF, School Building Administration. This has a few changes that would remove a reference to the head of secondary schools and associate principals and add a reference to the chief of schools. In reviewing this policy with Ms. Murphy and Ms. Henderson, we determined that this is a ministerial change, so would recommend waiver of first reading and adoption of policy CF. Any questions about policy CF? All right, the second policy for waiver of first reading is policy IC, school year. There's one change to this policy in the legal references, which is at line 103 on page 3, and that's the addition of a code site of 22.1-2.1. This also is a ministerial change, and so working with Ms. Henderson and Ms. Murphy, proposed waiver of first reading and second reading and adoption of this policy. Questions on policy IC? All right, those are the policies for waiver of first reading this evening.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yes, so let's go ahead and get a motion for 7.04, waiver of first reading and second reading of adoption of policies. Ms. Murphy.
I move that the school board approve waiver of first reading and second reading and adoption of policies CF, School Building Administration, and IC, School Year, as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Tice. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right.
All right, now for second reading and adoption of policies. We have 4 policies for second reading this evening. The first 3 all are replacing portions of policy 9.17, which is the board's policy on admission and exception of students. So the policies that will be replacing pieces of 9.17 are policy JEB, entrance age, admission of persons not of school age. There were no changes from first reading to that policy. It's also policy JECA, admission of homeless children, and that JEB and JECA are included in 9.17. So the sections of policy 9.17 that are being removed were indicated in strike-through during first reading, and so also before the board this evening for second reading is 9.17 admissions exceptions, which is a clean version of policy 9.17. It's a policy that previously had been 12 pages long, and after removing those sections that are being replaced by JEB and JECA, it will now be a 9-page policy. So we're slowly taking away pieces of 9.17, replacing that with lettered policies. So since those are all kind of under the same heading of admission of students and admission of homeless students, and then keeping portions of 9.17, happy to answer any questions about those 3 policies for second reading, JEB, JECA, and 9.17, if there are any questions. Seeing none, the final policy for second evening this reading is IGBA, Programs for Students with Disabilities. At first reading, there was a proposal from the dais to add a clarification at lines 8 through 9 that while the title of this policy is Programs for Students with Disabilities, the policy does talk about programs for students with disabilities as defined in the Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act. So that line was added at lines 8 through 9, but there were no other changes from first reading. Any questions about policy IGBA? All right, those are the policies for second reading this evening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Minson. Okay, we'll go ahead and seek a motion for 7.05, second reading and adoption of policies. Okay, Mr. Anderson.
I move that the school board approve second reading and adoption of policies JEB, entrance age, admission of persons not of school age, JECA, admissions of homeless children, 9.17, admissions exceptions, and IGBA, programs for students with disabilities as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Do I have a second? Ms. Murphy, thank you. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? All right, and 7.06?
Great. We have 6 policies for first reading this evening. The first 2 relate to policies that were just adopted, 9.17. As I mentioned, we're taking away pieces of that policy. And policy JEG, exclusions and exemptions from school attendance, is another policy that will remove a section from 9.17. So the language that's included in the model policy from the VSBA at JEG is quite similar to what is currently included in policy 9.17. You'll note that in looking at JEG, we did add, in working with Ms. Henderson and Ms. Murphy, cross-reference to 9.17 and future policy JEA, compulsory attendance. Since this policy talks about exclusions and exemption from school attendance and compulsory attendance, we did think it was important to make it clear that first, there is a requirement of compulsory attendance, but these are the exceptions to that. Also, lines 9 through 18 are green because they had previously been at the end of the policy, and we thought it made sense to bring that up to the beginning of the policy. So there are a few tweaks in policy JEG. The last changes would be on page 2 at lines 46 to 48, recognizing who it is that makes the request for exemption from attendance, either a parent, guardian, or emancipated minor, and then that request is made to the superintendent or superintendent's designee. And then in line 55 to 57, because the Virginia Code requires parents who hold their students back from kindergarten after the child's reached their 6th birthday to give notice to the school board, whereas the other requests for exemptions from attendance require notice to be given to the superintendent, we did want to provide the public with information about how to notify the school board, so included the school board address and the address for the registrar at Mount Daniel. Any questions about policy JEG? All right, so the removal of those sections from, or after second reading of policy JEG next month, or at the next board meeting, the sections of policy 9.17 that will be coming out are included in cross-through, which is a policy that's for first reading now because it would recognize those deletions. And that would be removal of lines 117 to 246 of policy 9.17, and also removal of lines 311 to 334. In going through 9.17, which is a pretty weedy and in-depth policy, I did work with Ms. Creed and discovered that there's another section of policy 9.17 at line 70 through 99 that are covered in JECA, the homeless policy that the board just adopted. So in first reading of this policy, we're proposing removing the sections that come out of JECA and what comes out of JEG. So there are 3 different areas of policy 9.17 that will be stricken through. And then over the coming months, we hope to bring all of the rest of the policies that relate to 9.17 until that policy is completely subsumed by lettered policies. So any questions about either policy 9.17 or JEG, which is partially replacing it?
Thank you. I'm not sure if this would go under this policy. I'm just, and if it goes under a different policy, that's fine. I don't expect you to know which policy off the top of your head by any means. But if, let's say, a student is a senior in high school and it's January and the family moves out of the district, is that in this policy or elsewhere?
That's in another policy. The school board does have a policy that students who move outside of the jurisdiction in the fourth quarter, or for seniors in the second semester, are allowed to stay enrolled. They do need to let the registrar know. We do need to have updated address and know where the student's residing. The student would no longer receive transportation, but they can stay enrolled in the division for either the fourth quarter if they are K through 11, or for their second semester if they are a senior.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, then I'll go on to the other policies for first reading this evening. Next is policy GC, professional staff. This is a policy the board had previously adopted in March of 2019, and there were changes made by the VSBA in May of 2023 to reflect amendments of the Virginia Code. So those changes are at lines 24 to 25 of policy GC that allow for 3-year provisional licenses, provided the teacher was actually employed and received a filed performance evaluation. Any questions about policy GC, professional staff? Hearing none. The last 3 policies for first reading this evening all come out of the Virginia Literacy Act, which is a new Code of Virginia that's being enacted and is effective July 1st, 2024. And many thanks to Dr. Bates and Dr. Ann Boletto and Julie Macrina in going through these policies. A lot of the policies the board has been reviewing recently have been lettered policies by the VSBA that replace current numbered policies. Because this is new law from the state, there are no numbered policies that are being replaced. Instead, it's just new policies that are being created to ensure that we are fully compliant with the Virginia Literacy Act. And I know Dr. Boletto has been training staff this entire school year so that we're ready for the implementation of the VLA. So the first policy is policy AG, literacy plan. This outlines a literacy plan that Falls Church School Board will adopt. The one change to this model policy was at line 38, noting that the core literacy curriculum that's going to be adopted is for kindergarten through grade 8. The VSBA wrote it to say through grade 12, but the VLA only applies for grades K through 8. So to be consistent with the law, that was a recommendation that our staff is proposing to this policy AG literacy plan. The next policy from the VLA that relates is GCA, reading specialists. This is a minimum that is set by the Virginia Code of the number of reading specialists that must be employed by the school board at grade levels. And in reviewing this policy with Ms. Murphy and Ms. Henderson, they noted that even the school board's budget this year did increase the number of reading specialists above the minimum, recognizing the interests of the public and ensuring high-quality literacy instruction of students. We wanted to add the language that's in red to make it clear that this is a minimum, but that the school board endeavors to exceed the state law requirement in this area as its budget allows, to indicate to the community that while this is a new policy and is in line with the VLA, the board takes very seriously the reading of its students, particularly those in grades K through 8, which is what VLA, the state law, requires. Any questions on policy GCA, reading specialists? All right, the final policy for this evening, and that also relates to the Virginia Literacy Act, is policy IGBD, programs for students with reading deficiencies. This, as with the other 2 policies, is a new policy because of the VLA. It is a new obligation from the state of Virginia, and it does introduce a new program for core instruction for reading for our students, but it's also something that our staff has been aware of, has been working on, has been training on, and is ready to implement come the start of school. So if the board finds these 3 policies related to the VLA acceptable, it would be first reading tonight and then second reading and adoption in August, right around when school's starting, but we will have done the training and staff will be ready to implement this on day 1 of school. Happy to answer any questions about this policy.
Ms. Tice?
I just had a question, and maybe this is for Dr. Noonan or even Dr. Bates. Is the term like reading deficient programs for students with reading deficiencies, is that like a common term? I just hadn't really heard it phrased that way. It feels, the connotation just makes me a little uncomfortable unless that's just standard.
It's an unfortunate, it's unfortunate terminology.
But that is what's just sort of standardly used?
That's what's coming out of the VDOE and other places, yes.
Okay, so would your recommendation be we use that just for consistency with the state terminology, or?
I think we're open to looking at that potentially, but
I don't want to create undue hassle, but it just feels unnecessary terminology.
Yeah, maybe for consistency, I might suggest keeping it. just so we're consistent with other divisions, but also note that
Right.
publicly we don't agree with the
Got
language.
it. Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Other questions?
Great, thank you. Those are the policies for this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Minson. This is excellent. I wish we could chart out how many policies in the last couple months. It feels like this could be record-setting, at least for the last couple years we've been on the board.
I have a note by my desk, and it's a lot, and I'm very grateful to Ms. Murphy and Ms. Henderson for their time in going through them. It has been really great to have their eyes on it and their expertise and their input. I think we're making really good headway on getting these policies adopted, so thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Thank you, Ms. Henderson, as well. Yeah, as always, this is great. So let's go ahead and seek a motion for 7.06, first reading of policies. Ms. Murphy? Since you earned it.
I move that the school board approve first reading of policies JEG, exclusions and exemptions from school attendance, 9.17, admissions, exceptions, GC, professional staff, AG, literacy plan, GCA, reading specialists, and IGBD, programs for students with reading deficiencies as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Tice. All in favor say yes. Any opposed? Okay. We will thank you, Ms. Minson, for all the work on this. This is exciting. And let's see, we'll go ahead and move on to Section 8, future agenda topics. So this section, we're looking for future agenda topics. There's no, Mr. Anderson.
First, let me be the first to thank you for explaining what this section is all about.
Absolutely. I'll read it
just
again
in
if you need.
Just in case anybody was unclear. And I was hoping to add on just a short discussion about some tech issues at the next work session. I know that the staff has been getting feedback from students and parents, and some on the board have received feedback from various parents, and it's kind of becoming a kind of a larger cultural conversation. And I know it's kind of an ongoing discussion in the schools, and I think it would be good for the board to kind of have a short discussion, kind of note kind of what we're hearing from the community, and be an opportunity for perhaps Dr. Noonan just kind of briefly talk about what the administration is thinking about for potential changes for next year.
Okay, so you're talking about the June 25th meeting?
Yes.
The work session, okay. And then in terms of just a general discussion, is there any presentation or anything like that that would be required by the staff, or is it just a discussion?
I don't think that there would need to be a presentation required by the staff. I know that they're kind of, I want to give them at least a little bit of a break after the school year, and I don't want to load anything onto their plates while they prepare for the next school year. But I know that that's kind of something that is ongoing discussion anyway, but I don't think that we need a formal presentation.
Okay, I'm sure that's exactly what Dr. Noonan wants to hear, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're happy to hear what questions you have and sort of the topics of conversation. I think the topic's a good one, and one that it'll be a great opportunity for us to also educate the community about how technology is used and isn't used in our schools, both personal technology, whether it's your phone or your smartwatch, and our laptop work too. So I think it'll, again, be a great opportunity for us to educate the community, getting our instructional experts in there, some of our teachers, our technology folks, to talk about how they are used, how they aren't used, and how we might be able to, I don't want to say lock down, but sort of potentially limit some other things going forward as well. So we welcome this conversation as an opportunity. So thanks.
Okay. Other comments or any questions about that? Yeah, Ms. Silverman?
I just would support having that discussion as well.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Silverman. Okay, so we'll schedule that for the June 25th work session.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good to just kind of hear what some of your questions are in that moment, and would encourage the board to just remain sort of neutral about it, because there's a lot of information that flows through the community, and Some of it's accurate, some of it's not, about what sites are available, what sites aren't available, where kids go, how much time they're being put on computers and the like. So again, I think a great opportunity to educate the community going forward.
Okay, and this sounds like this would be not a kickoff, well, I guess to some degree, a kickoff discussion. I mean, we're talking about doing this in the fall. I know this has been messaged by the school principals at the secondary level. So I think it'll be a great kickoff conversation. And just to clarify, Dr. Noonan, we're not going to have any presentation, right? You're just, when you're talking about the staff, that's more in the fall.
Depending on sort of the direction that you all want to go with this and how deep you want to go.
Okay.
Based on the conversations, I'm assuming that in 2 weeks, it'll just be kind of a general kickoff, like, hey, we're thinking about this, you know, what kind of questions might you want to ask, et cetera, and then we can slot it in mid to late fall.
Okay,
After we get school started, if that's all right.
That makes sense. And I think also, I think it would be good for the board, Dr. Noonan, in terms of the conversation. Think about this as a matrix. I know Mr. Pickering and Mr. Laub, with their school discussion on technology, it was technology use from the school devices, it was technology use from the personal devices, it was different levels, different schools. So we kind of think about this as a matrix. It's not one question on how is technology used in Falls Church City. And identifying that, and as we discuss that and we think about the questions or the things that we've heard from the community, that would be helpful to have to organize our own thoughts. So, and clearly this is a significant topic of interest across districts as we all wrestle with this, especially post-COVID, where I think there was an understandable relaxation of how we approach technology, given we had to rely on it so much during COVID for instruction and for other purposes. So this is timely. So I'm looking forward to this discussion as well. Anybody else have any comments about Mr. Anderson's proposal for future agenda topics for technology? Any other future agenda topics? Anybody who's going to be on the board past Saturday? Okay. All right. So I think that's the only future agenda topic. So that's 8.01. Now we're going to move on to the superintendent's report, the final superintendent report of the academic year.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, we made it. We made it through a really successful year. I've mentioned this to a couple of community groups, and I put it in the Noonan's notes as well. And what we're seeing in terms of student achievement and outcomes is historic. We're seeing some of the highest scores we've ever seen in the City of Falls Church, and are very excited to see those numbers coming in. It's a real validation of a lot of the work that's been going on, a lot of the intervention on behalf of students, looking at students by name and by need, and we're very excited about that. Under wellness, equity, and belonging, FCCPS is changing lives since 1949. 75th anniversary is obviously been something that has been really important to us, and June 27th marks the 75th year since our charter was authorized as a school division by the Commonwealth of Virginia. And there's a lot to be proud of over those 75 years, and certainly within this past school year. As you all know, you have a button in front of you that you have received that you're able to share with others when they come in for these board meetings. And that is a commemorative button that recognizes that 75-year anniversary. In terms of resource management and continuous improvement, student registrations for this year are not as great as we were hoping that they would be at the end of the year. Right now, we have 51% of our returning students have completed their registration for 24-25. The registration portal has been open for a while and will remain open for parents of rising kindergarten and 12th grade students, and we are hopeful to be on track for our timeline, and we'll continue to remind families over the summer to complete the process. It's super important that our families complete this process so we know how many teachers we need, how many bus drivers we need, how many cafeteria workers we need, and the like. So the more information we can get in sooner rather than later will be really important to us. Summer office hours are posted at each of the schools on doors and websites. While 12-month employees will be working full-time schedules over the summer, much of their work is away from the front desk, and we want to ensure that the community members know when they can visit the schools and how to make appointments if needed, while allowing time for those in the office to get some of their work completed. So a lot of the reason we put that information out was so that families had a clear understanding of when those office hours were. Communication and engagement, FCCPS celebrates the 24-25 calendar. It was a highlighted copy put in front of you this evening. This is the third year in a row that the staff team worked on this, and we are adding events to it all the time as requested by community members to recognize and celebrate students and families and employees. It includes federal holidays, religious holidays, cultural events, heritage and historic weeks and months, employee appreciation days, and also employee appreciation weeks. In terms of investing in our people, the new 403-457 benefit match that you all agreed to do as part of our collective bargaining agreement will go into effect on July 1st, and there are many employees that are starting to take advantage of that and signing up for that supplemental retirement benefit because of the 1% match. So thank you all for including that in your budget. And then lastly, under IB-infused teaching and learning, this is something that we can be very proud of as it's continuing to evolve in pre-K-12, the IB curriculum and the continuum. And I'd like just to share a few highlights. First, at JTP, as we finished our first year as an IB school, the learner profile attributes are part of everyday life there. I did put out on social media a video that was put together by Lauren Carpel. It's a really charming video that shared with parents highlighting how preschoolers think about being inquirers, thinkers, reflective, balanced, and more. And that will be an early in the year spotlight. So we'll be sure to show that again in the fall. Mount Daniel second graders, those students led their portfolio celebrations last week to review the work that they have done for the 3 years at Mount Daniel. This was also the last day walkthrough for the second graders and a spirited end of the year assembly for all of our students. At Oak Street, the third grade presented their Geo Island projects. And every class participated in a concert playing their recorders. Fourth grade presented Sea Creatures, and fifth grade said goodbye to elementary school with a class picnic and a moving up ceremony. Mary Ellen Henderson had their moving up ceremony. Eighth grade students received their awards, including recognitions for leadership, citizenship, and the IB traits. Sixth and seventh grade students were recognized at the end of the year, their awards for the first time in more than 5 years that has happened. And Meridian, we're still celebrating the most IB diploma candidates in the history of Falls Church City Public Schools. Juniors completed their first year of the career-related program, and our team continues to ensure that every student has at least one International Baccalaureate course before they leave high school from Meridian. And then division-wide, yesterday, our leadership team came together to start the summer by reviewing our strategic plan, the related work from this past year, and collaborating as we prepare for next year's focus on IB, teaching and learning, and also communications and community outreach, and are looking forward to working on both of those. And then the last thing is today, we had a really great learning opportunity for our staff that are currently on staff in mathematics and also the new language arts program in Virginia. Both of those were led respectively by Jen Fessenden and Dr. Ann Boletto. And I'd like to give them a shout out for their great work with our staff today, really doing a deep dive into mathematics instruction and English language arts. And of course, all of that is under the great leadership of Dr. William Bates. So Dr. Bates, thank you so much for that. And that's a wrap. We had a great year. All in all, we feel very positive about the way things went. And we're seeing the fruits of our labor, and our staff is very excited about that. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Noonan. Yes, and it's exciting to end the year on a high note. And we're congratulations to you and your team for having such a great experience for our students going through our schools. It's really exciting at this point, and hopefully everyone has a great summer. So that finishes our 9.01 superintendent's report, and now we'll go on to section 10.01, which should be edited. It says board and student liaison, but unfortunately Sean is no longer serving us. We're looking forward to having Charlotte Rice with us next year, but so we'll skip the student part and we'll go straight to the board. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, so the Gifted Education Advisory Committee met, and of note is that they took a formal vote to recommend that we change the name to the Advanced Academics Advisory Committee to align more with the state usage. And that's kind of the main thing. The Rec and Parks meets tomorrow night, so I will have that update in August.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Ms. Silverman?
Thank you. I attended Health and Wellness, and we spent a lot of time just kind of brainstorming some ideas for next year. And we'll be working on those.
Thank you, Ms. Silverman. David?
Yeah, actually, the athletic boosters met last Monday, celebrated a great year, as we noted with the student recognitions, both here and as at the recognition meeting that we had last month. And then in addition, everyone's excited about the baseball field going in, as well as working toward the new scoreboard. I don't forget exactly what the schedule is or whether or not all that capital's been raised, but that's been a real priority for the boosters for a while. So they're still in the process of working through that.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Ms. Tice?
First, I wanted to share from the public library that the summer reading program has officially started. It kicked off June 3rd, so anyone watching who wants to take their students to, or their kids to sign up. I think they also have an adult one as well. I know in years past you could win a Kindle. I'm not sure what the prize is this year, but that's always a wonderful program. And then Chair Gould and I attended office hours last week, and it was very well attended, our most well attended yet. Some really interesting conversations, a really diverse list of topics. We had some concerns over how stressful it was to have sporting events on the day of graduation, and questions on if there's any way to prevent that sort of stress for graduates in years to come. We had two a current and a former sub just come and stop in, and former employee sub, two people to just come and say, we love Falls Church, thank you. Thank you, Falls Church, we love our schools. So that was really warm and wonderful. Had some questions about our purchase of one diesel bus and one electric bus instead of two electric buses from some environmental activists. Further questions on how we can promote responsible waste management in our schools and potential composting, which I know is been a topic of conversation over the last several years, at least. Questions about the pedestrian safety as the construction continues on the West Falls Church site. And as Mr. Anderson noted earlier, parent questions about technology in the schools and what the process or the conversation will look like in the fall, and whether there'll be community engagement or school board policies or what that will look like. And of course, we said we don't know, but we're working on it. So I'm sure that there will be parents interested in our conversation in 2 weeks as well. Did I catch it all?
Did you mention the graduation baseball game? Okay, got that. Okay.
Oh, no, there was one family that I didn't speak to.
Oh, yes. And then we had another family talk about the foreign language, and they were trying to, Dr. Noon, they had some ideas about trying to encourage foreign language enrollment after the sixth grade to try to, the idea was how we do in band, the petting zoo. Is there a way to do that for foreign languages to get students more interested in the different languages, so they're not just like involved in one language, and specifically like Chinese, some of the other languages that have come and gone. So it was interesting. So they're very excited about that. Trying to build up our attention on that, especially with students pick in the sixth grade year. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had, thank you for that. We actually had a student who's a rising ninth grader bring that up as a possible topic for us last year, and I think we kind of kicked the idea around, but we'll go back and revisit it. I'm curious to know, it might have been the same family.
It might be, yeah. So yeah, that's the language understanding in that family is very impressive.
Yeah, and if it is the same family, they're very interested in Chinese specifically.
Exactly. Yep. Great. Okay. Yeah, so it was a packed school board office hours. I think sometimes in years past, the June ones are quiet, and it was great to have a lot of the community there, and as Ms. Tice said, representative of a lot of different issues, so that was great. My meetings, I did attend a Falls Church Education Foundation meeting last night, which is always great to hear firsthand about the partnership of all the impact that they're having every day within our schools, and also had an end-of-the-year peak meeting with Dr. Bates and Ms. Michael and Dr. Noonan at Clarendon's. So that was a more relaxing peak meeting than in years and then months past. So that's it. Ms. Murphy.
Okay, so I attended the June 3rd Special Education Advisory Board Committee meeting. Sorry. The committee meeting. We had an excellent guest speaker. It was Julie Paradiso from the Department of Aging and Rehabilitation. She talked about pre-employment transition services, and I think that was, looking ahead for a number of parents, nice to hear sort of what the offerings are in Virginia. We elected the officers for next year. Kathy Gillespie will remain the chair. She did a wonderful job this year, and we look forward to having her as the chair next year. We also reviewed the committee report, which will be presented to the board. And this is a report that details the year's accomplishments and looks ahead to set goals for next year. And that was that.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions about any of the updates from anyone on the board? Okay. Concludes Section 10, Board and Student Liaison comments, and then now we're in Section 11, Approval of Minutes. So we're looking for unanimous approval of the minutes for May 7th, 2024, May 14th, 2024, and May 21st, 2024. All right, I think there might be a competition here of Ms. Goodell and Ms. Minson about how much they can crank out. So yeah, so it's impressive. So Ms. Goodell, does that mean that we're caught up to May 21st? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I should not have asked that in public.
How I wish.
All right, it'll be there soon, I'm sure. So thank you, Ms. Goodell, for all the work on that. Materials for board review, the 12.01 enrollment and the 12.02, the monthly budget monitoring report. Any questions for Ms. Michael on either of those? I assume that's her department for both? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Seeing anything else? All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.